Hey everybody, how's it going? Statman coming right back at you, and today I'm going to be talking to you about The Blob, another horror movie review for you guys. Oh yeah. Wanted to do this one because, again, I've actually never seen this one before. I had never seen it until I got the Criterion here. It went down in price crazily on Amazon to $18.96, and I was like, holy crap, sub 20 for a Criterion before the Criterion sale? Sold! So, went ahead and decided to pick this one up because, well, I had never seen it before, and I really wanted to, because it's a classic of horror movies, right? Sure, it's cheese. I knew it was cheese going into it because I had been told so, that it was cheesy. So, I knew what to expect, and I was hoping that it was just good cheese, right? And holy crap, was I pleasantly surprised. Finally got around to watching this one, and it is fantastic. I think I have a new favorite, you guys. I know, like I said, it's cheesy, but it's my kind of cheese. It really is. I mean, it totally follows the whole trope of the sci-fi B movie of the 50s and 60s, where you got the teens in the cars, out causing all kinds of mayhem when a monster or a madman with a hook or whatever, bad thing X comes up and decides to try and start killing teens, and then you gotta get the cops involved, but the cops don't believe them, and you know what I mean? Yeah, it's got all that goodness going for it, and honestly, I feel like it does that cheesy sci-fi B movie stuff better than most B movies of the era. So I think that's why I was so pleasantly surprised with it, because it was really well done for a movie like that. Followed all those tropes, sure, but it followed all those tropes, and it was well done, and you had some pretty decent acting. I mean, there was some moments where it was just not good at all, but for the most part, pretty good stuff. I mean, you even had the old guy in there with the dog. Oh my god, old guy with a dog. You can't have a cheesy horror movie with an old guy and the dog. Killer clowns from outer space, old guy and the dog. Spaced invaders, old guy and the dog. They got the old guy and the dog in this movie. Does your movie have old guy and the dog? Because if it doesn't have old guy and the dog, it's not sci-fi B movie enough, and it's not from the 50s or based on anything from the 50s, so it's not my kind of movie. But yeah, another reason that I wanted to see this finally was because I watch Cinema Sickness a lot, and he makes a habit of going to Blob Fest each year, and I've always felt bad watching all these people revel in and celebrate this cheesy sci-fi B movie from the 50s, and not knowing anything about it myself, not ever having watched it myself. I feel bad watching all these people having fun with it and not knowing anything about it. So, was definitely glad to be able to pick up the movie in what is probably its best presentation to date here on Criterion Blu-ray. And yeah, this is a 4K digital restoration, so not bad at all. Of course, there's not too much to it, right? You just get the disc with the special features. You get this with a little essay here, and honestly, there aren't that many special features on it. It's just 2 audio commentaries, one by producer Jack H. Harris and film historian Bruce Eder, and the other by director Irvin S. Yeworth Jr. and actor Robert Fields. And then they got Blobabilia, a gallery of collector Wes Shank's trove of rare stills, posters, props, including the Blob itself and other ephemera. And then you get the trailer, and that's it. That's it. So, for a Criterion, it's kind of lacking in special features, but what are you going to do? What matters here, I think, is that the Blob, in terms of the transfer here, gets the freaking royal treatment. It looks beautiful. The colors pop. It's just fantastic. Loved the transfer for this movie, and it probably got a better transfer and a better treatment than any other movie of its ilk from its era. You know what I mean? So, like, if you can think of another sci-fi B movie like this with the teens and everything, the whole concept of it, of the monster movie from that era, that looks as good as this does on Blu-ray, like, please let me know, because this is the best I've ever seen, quite frankly. Most of those kind of movies, the B movies and whatnot, never got much respect, and so they never got any really good transfers or releases. And the best you'll find is like public domain prints. So the fact that this one got the royal treatment and looks so damn good, I was happy to see that. Absolutely happy to see that. And very pleasantly surprised with how much fun it was. It's such a fun movie, such a good movie. The monster actually is a pretty interesting monster. Like, they don't do a terrible job with it. And the special effects, I had seen some of the special effects before. I mean, it's hard to miss some of the Blob effects that they do in this movie. They talk about the Blob effects in a lot of other documentaries and whatnot about horror films and about films in general. But seeing them in action, seeing them in the actual movie itself while watching the actual movie itself was another thing entirely. It was very effective, very fun, very good. You still had the cheese in there, but it was pretty nice. It was pretty fun. So, yeah, absolutely enjoyed this. Way more than I even expected to. I thought, well, I'm just going to like the cheese factor and that's about it. But no, I legit enjoyed the movie. And it makes me kind of want to go to Blobfest myself at some point. You know what I mean? So, yeah, very cool stuff. And hey, if you want to know more about Blobfest, then I recommend checking out Cinema Sickness. He has done a lot of great stuff on that. I think every year they hold it in a town, maybe near where he lives, but maybe not too near. I don't know where it is. But it's the town where the theater that is in this movie is located. So they actually hold the festival or whatever, the Blob Fest, at the theater, show the movie in the theater, and then do like all the people running out of the theater event at the end of it, which is pretty damn cool if you ask me, because hey, that means you get to be a part of the whole movie experience of running out of the movie with everybody, with the way that they did in the movie. So that's kind of cool. And one of the reasons that I wouldn't mind going to Blobfest someday. So yeah, would I recommend getting this on Criterion? Yes. In fact, I don't think there's any other way to get it. I mean, I'm sure there are some other releases on DVD and whatnot, but what I'm trying to say is, if you want the best transfer of this, and even if you don't want the best transfer of this, it's so good. You will be doing yourself a favor to get it this way. If you haven't already, I highly recommend getting the Criterion version of the Blob, because it looks freaking fantastic. And hey, you get a few special features as well. And yeah, I would probably get this during a sale because there's not too many special features on it. But even at like $20, I think it's definitely worth it because the transfer's so damn good. It's a 4K transfer. I was not even expecting that because I thought the Criterion release came out a little too early for the 4K transfers. But apparently not. They did a 4K transfer for this and it looks freaking phenomenal. And yeah, I love this movie and I recommend it to anybody who hasn't seen it yet. Definitely need to check it out. Be like me and finally get around to watching The Blob. Well, that'll do it for me today. Thanks for watching it, guys. I don't know what movie review I'm going to be doing next, but you can expect more movie reviews and stuff like that from me in the next few weeks leading up to Halloween. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.